We've left Europe and the, well, now warmness here in the summer, and we've gone over to the deserts, to the massive city of Marrakesh. Welcome to the Moroccan Grand Prix, a place where we've got a home hero here in Outguard, who is the favourite to get pole and probably the favourite to win as well. But he's got Dakar, man who's won the last 2 races in a row in Greece and Berlin, to fight against. It's going to be an incredible race to watch, hopefully, and you can watch it all live for free here on YouTube. Welcome to Romula One, and bonjour to my Moroccan viewers, and however you say hello in Arabic. And if you take a look at the commentary box for today, I'm your commentator today, Kian GP, and alongside me today for yet another, hopefully thrilling weekend of racing, Mano. How are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm glad that I've not been sacked after the last race, but I'll take that as a good sign. But yeah, I'm excited. We saw a very good race last time out here in Romula, and I'm absolutely convinced that we're going to get another same spectacle. Like you said, Outguard as the home hero. They always say you go about a second faster at home. So will that prove to be true? We're going to find out in just a couple minutes. And as you can see here in the pit lane, cars are absolutely packed. Everyone wants to get out, and they go out onto track now. So start of Q1.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep. So, Kian, would you like to tell the viewers? I hate to interrupt you, mate, but would you like to tell the viewers about the 3 quali session format that we've got for this weekend?
Yes. So a qualifying format which started, I believe, last week, wasn't it, in Berlin? Similar to the real-life Formula One qualifying format. You've got 20 drivers or more, it really depends on just how many drivers there are. And about the top 5 or 6, let's say there's 20 drivers. Qualifying 1, the bottom 5 get eliminated, and the top 15 go through to Q2, where in that qualifying session, the bottom 5 yet again get eliminated, and the top 10 of that qualifying session go into the 3rd and final qualifying session, where they will fight it out to get pole position for the Grand Prix. And it's going to be an interesting qualifying session as well. A track with 14 corners and a lot of different corners, sharp, long and windy, and S-section corners. It's going to be very, very fun to see who gets caught out, especially with a hairpin at the end of the SS section in the middle sector. Mano, do you think that area is going to catch out a lot of drivers today?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of people get caught out in last weekend, and now obviously with more sausage curbs, that tends to be the way that they punish the drivers for going too wide. We're going to see a lot of people hit those sausage curbs, and hopefully not too hard to the point they go flying over the barrier. But yeah, they're going to have to be careful, because for this format, as you know, road racing, it's going to be hard to tell how many people are going to be coming to the races. So instead of just eliminating the bottom 5, it's going to be the bottom 25% of the runners in Q1. So I'm obviously not strong with maths on the go, but I'd assume that'd be somewhere close to about 4 to 5 people, as we've got 20 drivers running at the moment.
So currently, even though Dakar has won the last 2 races, Fernand by 8 points still leads the championship in his Craig. But teammate Outguard, the home hero, is only 22 points behind Fernand. So with 6 more rounds after this one, Outguard could realistically still win the championship. And to do so, it would help a lot to maybe get a win or a good position in this race, his home race. And you can kind of see it in the votes that we were actually talking about before the stream. Dakar, he got about 20% of the votes for who will take pole. I mean, we asked, and you guys at home have delivered. Surprisingly, even though Dakar did get a majority of the votes, he didn't get most of them. Critical Noob got slightly more, which is surprising in my opinion, because we haven't seen much of him recently. But of course, it's the home hero himself, Outguard, with most of the votes. But do you think that will be really kind of realistic heading into this qualifying session? Or do you think it's still going to be a potential Dakar sweep? Oh, and as I speak into the wall, goes one of the cars over the sausage curbs here. What? I think he just went wide.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I think like we were saying, Kian, it's just the sausage curbs and going wides, especially if you hit them at speeds, that's gonna send you flying, like, so you have to be careful. And yeah, well, something else I wanted to delve into for fans of golf racing, they're gonna have to sit down for this one. That team is gone. So from what I take, I think they have been replaced by Meme Racing. Which has got Train Pig, I think, staying on in that outfit, obviously rebranded, and then signing Critical Noob, and then ASM, who was also racing for golf at the time, has moved down to GeForce alongside Chris. So, and there's obviously been quite a number of changes in the driver lineups and the team lineup, but that's really the noticeable one that people will obviously notice quickly. You'll recognize the Meme Racing car in the white, sort of like Miami type pink and orange. It looks quite nice, actually, I can't lie. But will the livery deliver on track? They've got a competitive lineup. They should be at the top, but at the moment, with 7 minutes to go, the Train Pigs sat down in 18th. Now, obviously, I've not been watching for too long. Is that normal for a driver to be so far down the order? Do they tend to get that lap in like near the end, or is that a sign of bad pace?
Well, it really depends on the driver, Mano. I mean, some drivers like to get their lap times early, and especially in Q1, where the top drivers don't really need to push that much. They could set one good lap and pretty much just get through it. But maybe the Train Pig is one of those drivers that likes to leave it late. Who knows? And as you were talking about transfers, yeah, Meme Racing, golf racing has turned into Meme Racing, and they've got a strong lineup. But I think another noticeable transfer, two actually, Sparks Racing, a big, big loss for them, because they have lost both their drivers in Acer, and currently the man fighting for the championship against Fernand Dakar, they've lost their two main drivers to Turkington Motorsport, a team with currently only 11 points, I believe. So it's not the best situation for Spark Racing, is it?
Yeah, loyalty in Romula One is at an all-time low at the moment from what I'm seeing. You see drivers moving all the way across the board, wherever they want to go. I think if they just... It's quite an art to convince Dakar to join your team. They must have had something that appealed him. We know in the past in other leagues Dakar has been he has been swayed by money, Robux, etc. There could have been some financial dealings done there, but nonetheless he's no longer a Sparks Racing driver. Now, is that team going to be able to pick up the pieces by themselves is the big question, as Dakar goes off there actually into the runoff. So maybe still getting to grips with his new machinery. However, rest assured, he will definitely be up there.
Yeah, for Turkington to win the Constructors, which is a long shot in itself, it's going to be difficult. I don't think they'll be able to do it. Dakar or Acer would have to win week in, week out, and that's difficult in its own right. Even for Dakar, this is probably the strongest lineup in Roblox Racing at the moment. So Dakar has been challenged. It's not going to be easy for him to win. And I think unless he's the only one that doesn't get caught out, especially by the hairpin at the end of the S's, it's going to be difficult for him to win. Outguard has got the momentum of the fact that it's his home race on his side as well. For Turkington to win the Constructors, that's a long shot. And yeah, loyalty isn't really much of a thing at the moment in Roblox Racing. We've seen it in other leagues, PARC, for example, Moto, their current championship leader, well, he's moved to 3 different teams in less than 2 seasons. And 2 of them were because of controversies. So, stuff like that, it's not looking too great for loyalty-wise. But you do have some drivers that stay loyal to their teams and will most likely never leave unless they get some crazy Dakar type of money. I'm going to have to go on mute for a few seconds. Mano, over to you.
Sounds good. So I've just run the numbers on my Wii calculator, and I do take that P17 will be the cutoff point for Q1 here. So as we hit the 3-minute mark, we're looking at the PMP drivers, we're looking at one of the midnight cars, and we're also looking at one of the, I forgot the name of that team, but it's the one that hasn't scored any points. I'm just going to have a wee look in the media channel and see who they are. It is the Leneva Motorsports car. But as I just said that, Funky up into P17. So Funky Fox, he was the driver for PMP at the start of the season, was thanked quite a lot for making that livery, and then immediately got sacked a race into the season. He's driving for the Leneva outfit now, under hopes he can maybe do a better job. And I think at the moment, he looks like he should be through to Q1? Q2? Actually, no, he's not. He's been bumped down to P18 now. So it just goes to show how cutthroat the competition is at the moment. I've just been corrected by the race director. That is the bottom 6. So if we, count with our fingers, that is going to be P16 onwards are safe. So James and Wolf and the other drivers, they're going to have to see if they can find some more pace. It is a very cutthroat field at the moment, and they've only got about enough time to run one more lap. So watch people conserving their ERS, running some, I don't know if tire temperatures are the thing, but watch them trying to maybe weave some life into those tires, maybe get the optimal wear before hitting that lap. As we're on board with one of the midnight cars here now, actually. So let's quickly just have a look and see who we're taking a look at, I think. Yeah, so it is going to be Miggy in the danger zone currently, P19, and his teammate Deferred, who is currently sat in the danger zone here. He might get knocked out by his teammate if Miggy can pull a bit of a one-shot wonder here. So they're going to hope that both their drivers can get good laps going in. PMP also rounding off the table back in last place, which is not where they want there to be. Once again, proving the storyline that Ratia K is the one driving the team forward. We've got 1 minute left to go, and let's see what the pecking order is going to be.
It's looking, well, so far, it's Domji at the top of the standings. Now, what I found interesting from practice earlier today, Dakar set a pretty good lap, but it was Outguard, the only person to beat him by a 1/10 and a half. So lap times could be close here, especially heading into Q2 and 3. But for now, it looks like they're not really trying that much with their pace at the moment, trying to save it up for the next few sessions.
Here we are on board with, I think, Dakar or Acer, I think. Clocks now. And let's see exactly what he's going to do. Taking a bit, the car ahead, having a bit of a bumpy line through that final corner there. And Clock's currently, he's actually, I don't know if the new livery has given the Hyperdrive team more pace, but it's definitely put Clocks up on the board, currently in P2 at the moment. However, we should be watching the people in the danger zone. I think Deferred might be safe here. Wolf Laundry out in Q1. That is a surprise to me. Funky Fox, Real Miggy, 2 Fords, and then the PMP. So that's definitely a bit of a surprise to me. I can't lie. I'm a bit surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised Wolf is out in Q1. I'm not sure if he's on a lap at the moment. Let's quickly just take a look. As here we are on boards. Oh wait, no, that's not. That's his teammate. Never mind. Yeah, so Wolf's teammate, on the other hand, currently about to cross the line. Super Job. Let's see where he puts his car. He's clearly safe, but, I'm sure he's just running for, mileage. Any mileage is good mileage, and that puts him up into P9. So the people being eliminated out of Q1, it's going to be the PMP driver, and then it's going to be the 2 Fords, and then it's going to be Real Miggy in the Midnight Star, and then it's going to be Funky Fox in the Leneva, and then we've got Wolf Laundry out for Artemis Racing. My personal surprise. Are there any names there who you didn't expect to get into qualifying, who you thought would be getting into qualifying, Kian?
Honestly, yeah, it's Wolf Landry for me, who I expected, especially after last week's performance, to get into there. For the rest, not really any names that I wouldn't expect to get in there. Or I mean, would expect that didn't get in there. But so far, except for Wolf Landry, all the drivers that should be kind of contesting for pole position are there. So not really any complaints from me. It's looking like a good, interesting interesting last 2 qualifying sessions.
Well, yeah, but that's going to be it for Q1. As you can clearly see, engineers scrambling all over the pit lane, trying to get some more data, trying to talk to their drivers, sort of give them some pointers ahead of the next session. It's very cutthroat, as you can clearly see, the entire grid only being separated by around 3 seconds. So, as the leaderboard resets, who are we going to see getting eliminated out of Q2? It is a bit... We're not seeing teams clumping up like we used to. We're not teammates are... There are some clear gaps. We're seeing, for example, the Hyperdrive teammates. Toots currently way down the order. Could have even been knocked out if he wasn't too careful with that lap time. Meanwhile, Clock's up at the front row. So Hyperdrive having a bit of a performance imbalance there. And I can't say some of the other teams are also suffering that on a minor scale. But yeah... Interesting Q1. Very interesting Q1.
It was indeed. Q2 now. I'm not expecting that much, but you know what? I think the Hyperdrive cars are going to struggle a bit in that qualifying session. Didn't have too much pace on offer. And of course, Q2 is when you start to properly start setting laps. So honestly... I mean, it could be anyone's guess, but I think the Hyperdrive cars are going to struggle a bit.
Yeah, it's we've always seen Clocks struggle with the tire wear late on into the race. He had that issue last time. Obviously, on one lap, I think he's got the pace 100% because there's a reason he's up on that leaderboard at the moment. But if he does get that position, will he be able to sustain that over the race distance? That is a question in itself, and I'm interested to see how that plays out when we get to the Grand Prix.
It's going to be very interesting, and remember, if you enjoy, if you've been liking what you've been seeing so far, well, click the subscribe button and join the Discord, because you can check there when races are on, and you can watch all the races and qualifying sessions live for free on YouTube. And if you can't catch them, if they're too late, too early, doesn't matter. You can always rewatch them later or watch the race highlights that always come out a day or two later.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat asking, how do I join? How do I get involved here in Romula One? And the good news is you can get involved in any way you want. We've got plenty of positions open for media, or if you want to get involved with the teams, there's engineer spots, reserve spots, driver spots. If you have the pace, given the current track record for the team loyalty at the moment, I wouldn't put it past you that you might be able to get on the grid for the next race. So anything's open for realm of imagination. Just join the Discord and we can get you sorted from there. As Q2 starts, all the cars rolling out. Kian, would you like to give us your thoughts ahead of this next 10-minute session?
It's going to be difficult, maybe. More and more drivers are going to start to try and push, and that might be difficult because of, the mix of twisty corners. Not too many people have been caught out, to my surprise, though. So I think it could go one of two ways. Either chaotic or not chaotic. That's all I can say. It's going to be interesting to see who goes through, who gets knocked out. And, I'm excited for it.
100%. Currently on board here with the Hyperdrive car. Bit pixelated, so I'm unable to see who it is, but I'm assuming it's going to be Clocks. And yeah, I mean, he's been doing very good this season. You know, he's up there in the championship at the moment. And now this is really the first time I'm seeing him where he looks like he might have some pace to get up on the maybe top 4 finish, which would be really good for Hyperdrive. We did just talk about how he struggles to sustain his tire wear. But I think if he gets a grip over that, if Hyperdrive manages to sort of resolve that issue going into this weekend here at Morocco, they might be able to be on for a podium, and that would be amazing.
Well, currently, it's deferred, I believe, in P1, a 1:36.3 for him, way quicker than the rest. The second place currently, actually, is the train pick, a 1:53. I think that was his outlap. But if not, then, then that lap time was really slow. Of course, yeah, here's the Hyperdrive car. That's Clocks, I believe. I don't think the Hyperdrive cars are going to make it out of Q2, but especially last week, he had so much pace, didn't he? It just all went wrong for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just looked like a bad strategy in my end.
Off goes driver.
Oh,
who is
that? Well, I think he's just gone back to the pits. But yeah, I think.
Hyperdrive off. Is that Clocks or is that Toots? I think it's Clocks. Oh, yeah, I think he just lost it there coming out of the turn. Oh, into the wall.
Oh. Yeah,
big incident.
What's happened there?
What's happened there? Let's have a look on the replay. Just went off.
Oh.
Pow, into the wall.
Now, if I'm correct, I don't think teams get penalized for wrecking their cars in qualifying.
No, I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
But he just lost it. I think that was that Domji or was that F1FA?
Could have been either, but the good thing is, like we just clarified, they are still able to run. Just need to go back to the garage and get that respawn.
He did not turn a muscle. He just let the car go straight on. I think I saw like a little Roblox character on the track. Did he make a mistake and just jump out of the car and give up?
There is every chance he could have just like hit the slash button and opened chat, and then like. As soon as you open chat, you can't use your arrow keys or your mouse or whatever, and then that's it. You just straight into the wall. So hopefully he doesn't do that in the race, whatever the issue was. Currently with a split screen view of two of the drivers here. Yep, so we're on with Chris and Outguards. So Outguards currently doing well, impressing here at his home Grand Prix. He's not set a amazing lap yet. For the crate car, but he can surely get up there. I'm confident he can get that car up there because this is his home Grand Prix. He's clearly tasted, well, he's not tasted, but he's been in reach of the win many times. He just needs to get the bearings right, chain up the laps together properly, deploy that ERS where he needs to, and I'm sure he'll be in for a good shot at the very least.
And for the viewers at home, comment down below who you think is going to win. Outguard, Dakar, whoever. Comment down below. Is it going to be a Craker? Is it going to be a Turkington? Who knows? I want to see you guys talk more in the chat. Come on, make it lively and put your predictions down below. It's going to be an exciting one. Don't miss out. And by the end of it, you can check if you were right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, ASM currently out on top, so it looks like the move to G-Force has paid off well for him. And you know what? Maybe it might be the good switch after all. I'm obviously not sure how. Yeah, Outguard on 2 purples actually. Sorry to go off the train of topic there, but it looks like the home hero currently about to chain up a lap, going a bit wide, but he's exercising the track limits to his advantage across the line. Where is it going to put him in the pecking order? P1. In Q2. It's not going to mean much because it's only Q2, but that is good. That is good pace right there, and I'm confident with clearing Dakar by 3/10, Outguard is going to be in the fight today.
Yeah, Outguard. I mean, he's got the. He really does have the backing of his home fans here at the track. He's been blistering. His lap times have been blistering in practice. I think we can see faster as well in practice. As we go on board with an Arc who's coming out of the pit lane. Or did I just say Arc? I was reading out a sponsor. Smart by me. That's a Turkington, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, probably Dakar, because he had set a lap not too long ago. 2 minutes 45 left to go. I'm reading some of your predictions at the moment. It's Critical or Dakar. No Outguard. The exact opposite of what we saw on the Discord polls.
Yeah,
we still have time left to vote in the Discord as well, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got, viewers, you're more than welcome to give us stuff you want us to comment on. You know, that's why the chat exists. Otherwise, we would have closed it off. But yeah, good to see some predictions coming in. Keep them coming in. We will be reading your chat messages right until the checkered flag today. So get involved, 100%. And yeah, as we're closing up to the end of Q2, the bottom 8 is going to be eliminated this time onwards, as Race Control have announced. So that will bring us to, I think, let me see if I am correct.
Oh, Dakar's gone slightly wide over the sausage curb. Now I don't know if he was setting a lap. Setting a lap at this point, he's in second place. You don't really need to do that. He could go back into the pit lane, but if he was going to try and set a lap, yeah, going over the sausage curb does not help at all. As he DRS open onto the start-finish straight, where does he go? Is he going to try and beat Outguard's lap? A bit of mind games, maybe? No, he's going to set a new lap. As we go on board with, is that the crake of Outguard?
Oh,
onto the wall.
Interesting line. Oh,
very interesting line.
Getting some aero upgrades.
As you said, with a minute left to go, top 8 go through, bottom 8 are eliminated. Domji, who was P1 at some point in Q1, I think. He's down in last. The exact opposite can be said for Outguard, the home hero. But one man who I think should go through...
Ooh.
Clocks.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but deferred up into P4. So I thought I was about to say he's looking like he's in a spot of bother. He's not anymore. A 130 flat from the Midnight Star card there. So really nice stuff. Let's go on board with the crake of Outguard. And let's see what he is gonna do. Home hero, obviously, it's a crake 1-2 at the moment. So that car clearly got some pace.
Yeah, there was I only just saw there was a crake on the in the middle of the start-finish straight. Currently, Outguard, the home hero. It's a 1-2 for crake. It's looking good. But with Outguard, wanting to win the championship, him versus Fernan might not be as simple as it seems. Here's Outguard crossing the line in the crake.
Where's that going to put him? Even faster, actually. I think that's 29.4.
Faster, that's an improvement. He was already P1, but it helps now that he improves.
Amazing.
Is done well. Well, at least the time is up. If you still got a lap, if you're doing a lap still, you can finish it. And right now, Clocks is a man that I really want to see go through.
Domji is still on the lap, apparently. Domji's still on the lap, apparently. If we can have a look and see what he's getting up to.
Across the line. And where does he get up to? I want to see. I want to know.
Because, Clocks as well on a lap. So Q2's not wrapped in them. I thought Q2 was wrapped up and popping in the box, but no, we've still got a few drivers going over. Is Domji going to get across here today? Or has he invalidated? Oh, Domji's safe into Q2 by the skin of his teeth. Sorry, Q3 by the skin of his teeth. And we've got Clocks also getting through by the skin of his teeth. So I genuinely I thought that was wraps. I can't lie, but no, they've come through last minute one shot wonder, which means that the people going to be eliminated from. I mean, actually, Kian, a lot of unknown names there for me. If you'd like to just tell the viewers who's been eliminated, that would be great. So I'm assuming it is P9 to P16.
Yes. I'm not the greatest with names either. I still have to wait for. There we go. Auger. I don't know him, but he's in P9 in the Spark. Okay, so the replacement for Dakar in the Spark, Auger. I'm just going to read out from the abbreviation if I don't know the drivers.
Actually, Kian, I've just gotten the list from Castos, so I'll just
same.
Tell the viewers. Yep. So it will be Organis for Dakar's replacement. Unfortunately, not matching the pace of Dakar this time around. Train Pig. New start with meme. Unfortunately, that qualifying pace was a bit of a meme from him. Acer also starting out with his new team, getting eliminated in Q2. We got Chris Ratieke for PMP. We got Super, F1 Fan, and Toots rounding out the eliminations from Q2. So nice effort, guys, but tough luck this time around. And that leaves us with the top 8 for Q3.
So I was sadly, well, I wouldn't say sadly because I'm a big fan of Cloxed, but I was wrong about both hyperdrives going out in Q2. Nearly correct though. Here we go on the replay, and that was Domji, I believe. Was it? Who just went off? It was a really weird situation. There's the Turkington. He went off as well. That's really your highlights from Q2. Oh, actually more. Multiple cars going off and over the sausage curves. They were just... Oh, what happened there? It went into the air. That was... I didn't see that, but going over the Moroccan flag didn't look very good for them. Q3 has started, however. The final qualifying session here in Morocco. And the qualifying session to decide who takes pole and who goes home. And currently the favourites are Critical Noob, Outguard, and the man himself, the widely known as the greatest of all time, Dakar from France.
Yeah, so Dakar currently a bit on the back foot. I'm not sure if he's just hiding his pace. I don't want to be optimistic and say that we might be in for a close fight, but, that's what it's looking like at the moment. So, you never know. Hopefully we might be in for a good one. So the top 8 into Q3, I think 2 of the cars still maybe running some numbers with their engineers before they head out. But at the moment, we've got Dakar out on track, Outguard, Critical, Fernand, Clocks, and ASM. So let's see what they can do. Currently, we're going to get a split view of Dakar and Clocks. Let's see what these 2 respective drivers do and how their approach goes. We're watching Dakar go through, I think, the first turn. And then we're also going to watch Clocks come through the first turn as well. So let's see how they both compare on these laps. 2 drivers. Different skill levels, I'd say, but nonetheless, they're both in this session together. Clock's obviously impressing over the course of the season. He's already got on a podium. He could be on the running for another one here in Morocco today, but Dakar is obviously not going to make that easy for him. He's here to get the win. I don't think Dakar is going to be able to pop a game of football on this time around because he looks like he's finally got competition. What did you say, Kian?
Honestly, Dakar will have to concentrate probably here. Unlike last week where the Train Pig crashed out early, this time you've got Outguard, but could I say back? I didn't really see him in Berlin, but this time he's going proper. He wants to win this. And to win, well, at the very least, you'd love to have pole position as well. It's going to be difficult for the Frenchman, but it's going to be interesting. Not only pole position, but who wins this. There could be a massive mix-up here, and it could go all wrong for any of them.
We've got Outguard currently with the purple middle sector. Home hero here. Let's see where he puts his car. That's going to be up in P3. Critical Noob then slotting in P3 actually, and immediately taking away
into the wall.
Outguard's top 3. And yeah, if viewers are wondering why drivers keep plowing their cars into the wall after the lap, it's because it's a lot faster for them to reset their avatars, get back into the garage, and then press the respawn button, as opposed to driving all the way back around the circuit and costing them valuable time. Is that realistic? Don't think so. But then again, this is Roblox. We're not really looking for realism. So
It's a video game.
Exactly. Allow it. Deferred currently on a purple first sector. So obviously he's been riding on the coattails of each session. You know, like he's been very, very close to getting very, very close to getting eliminated from the qualifying sessions. But you know, he's been managing to put a stint in. Currently around. Let's see how he fares off in the final sector. It's a purple first sector, like I mentioned. Personal best for a second sector. And as we wait to see how he rounds up his lap, comes over the finish line. Where is he going to be? Oh, he's lost some time in that third sector there. He's going to be P5 for the Midnight Star. But yeah, not much time for the drivers to recoup and get going again. Do they want to wait for a bit before they run again? Do they want to maybe put enough fuel in the car to go for 2 runs, or do they just want to wait until they get to the 2-minute mark? It's going to be a bit of a sticky situation, but we'll see what happens. As everyone's on their out laps now, Kian, I'm going to allow you to put in your prediction for pole, mate. I'm getting very close to the final couple of minutes here. So,
a bit of sideways action from the Craig. Did he clip the sausage curb, Mano?
I think he did. We did see that quite a number of times last weekend. Was it last weekend? Might have been. But yeah, we did see a lot of that happening in the last race. When they're pushing on the absolute limit, like we're watching here with the crate car of.
Sorry, that wasn't a crate
ASM.
Actually.
Is it not a crate? Oh, sorry. It looks like a crate. Cool.
Really
right, okay. Let's keep a focus on Dakar, Fernand, Crit, and
crate.
Outguards, as
This is
I believe.
Outguard.
Yeah, let's have a look. As a critical noob is on a purple sector at the moment.
The crate's gone wide over the sausage curb. That's Outguard, right? That's gone over the sausage curb. Not the greatest of things to happen to him, but he's still got a few minutes.
He's managed to, they've got a few minutes to go. They could get one more run in. Dakar's currently on a lap at the moment. Critical's on a lap. Dakar's lost time in the second sector. Critical, however, purple first sector, and he's improved on the second sector. He's actually gone faster than Dakar in the second sector. So keep an eye on the meme racing car here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely soaring through the corners here. I'm interested to see where he's going to slot his lap time. And it looks like Dakar's aborted that lap. So he's going to try one more time in the remaining minutes of this session. As we've got Critical Noob coming around the corner here, the meme racing car. Let's see where he's going to put the car. It's going to be only P2. He's lost some time in that final sector there. It is very, very minute, though. It looks like it's only about 6/100ths of a second that he's lost. And I think that's going to be his last lap. So Critical Noob, he's not going to go much faster than second, but he could still lose it. Let's see.
Yeah,
let's see who else is going to match.
That's the meme racing in its debut race. Critical Noob currently second with Dakar provisional pole. But of course, Outguard has been sizing up this lap here at his home Grand Prix in Marrakesh to potentially get pole. He's pushing. He wants to get pole. If it's any race where he could get pole, it's this one. And he's going to go as hard as possible for it, nearly making contact with the sausage curbs. The yellow, very, very annoying little things on the outside of the track that every single driver, if possible, would say, remove it. But you can't.
I hate to say
you have to live with it. Final corner.
I don't think he's going to improve.
Across the line?
I don't think he's going to improve. No, he's going to be. It's going to be P4. It's going to be P4.
Oh,
he did not gain any time. I don't think he had the tires in the right window, or maybe didn't charge the battery enough, or just couldn't find the flow. But those were all yellow sectors. No improvement from Outguard.
Oh, the disappointment on Outguard's face right now.
However, I would like to inform the viewers, there is the possibility that he has just cranked the car up. and is going out for his main lap now. So keep an eye, ladies and gentlemen. It could just be that everyone at the moment is on an out lap, and we as the commentators, as usual, not read the situation entirely. Keep an eye. Let's see what we're going. Yep, Algar currently on a
very quick.
It's a personal best, not fast enough though. He's gonna need to go a little faster. As everyone currently on laps at the moment. The session has ended, but cars are going round. Dakar.
The rear end of Outguard just slid there. What were you saying about Dakar, Mano?
Yeah, Dakar currently on a personal best of a middle sector. It's still not nowhere near as fast as Critical Noobs, but as Critical's kind of lost the momentum with that final lap, I think he's safe for the pole unless Outguard has something to say about it. He's not improved in the middle sector, 33.5. He's going to have to pull some absolute miracle out of the bag for his sector 3. Home Hero coming across the line.
Will he get it?
And it puts him in a P2. And literally, goodness me, what is that margin? Is that that's like 1,000th of a second there between Dakar and Outguard.
So close. But unfortunately, and this happens often in racing, not close enough. Dakar, almost on a victory lap, will cross the line.
He doesn't improve, but
not improve.
Yep, if we can watch clocks real quick though.
By a hundredth of a second, Dakar takes pole position for the Moroccan Grand Prix with Outguard and currently probably his main rival here today in second in the quick. Some drivers, I believe, are still going for it, but it's Dakar, the Frenchman, who's currently conquering the Grand Prix de Maroc. Yeah, and it's looking good for him as well.
You know, this is exactly what we wanted because, you know, we were literally discussing about how we have Dakar coming in and dominating as usual and not having much of a fight. But that margin between first and second, that is... I'm going to say that's looking good. We're going to be in for a tasty battle.
Let's go to Dakar. He's just got out of his car and he's ready to give us some of his words, I believe. Oh, yeah, we'll have to wait for Caster to do that. But Dakar, pole position here for the Moroccan Grand Prix. Almost like a second home for him, considering part of the language is French here in Morocco. Dakar, your pole man for today and the man who's won the last 2 races in a row here for an interview. Let's go to Dakar. Hello, mate. Pole position.
Yo, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
It was close in the end. Outguard, the home favourite, the home hero, he got pretty close. 100th of a second behind you. That's the closest qualifying margin to you all season. Will this phase you in any sense? Do you think he can challenge you? And who else do you think could challenge for this win?
Nah, he's gonna battle it anyway, Outguard. So no pressure from him. Critical Noob though, he's gonna be there. Outguard's gonna slip out of the track on lap 3. I just know it by some shadow magic. Yeah. By the way, it feels like being at the gulag because I'm chilling on my own, minding my business, and I get forcefully dragged into the voice chat for an interview. I wanted to chill, man.
Okay. So for the race, yeah, you think you're gonna win her? Is that?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't like this track. Every corner is the same. Well, yeah. Whatever. I'm just gonna do my thing, activate the cheats, and then try to win.
Will you get the football on for this race as well?
Huh?
Will you get a football game on for this race as well, mate?
No, but I'm gonna try and watch qualifying has started. No.
Oh well, you can have that on as well. So
where is it? I need to find the stream.
Well, Mano, any more questions for you?
No, I mean, Dakar is a bit of a no-nonsense merchant, so I'm assuming that he's got everything under control. It's interesting to see what he gets up to, and yeah, that's it from me.
Well, yes, Dakar, thank you for joining us. If we have time,
No
a few
problem.
more. We've got Fernan, the other Craig, teammate of Outguard. Outguard is currently not here. He would like to talk to us. But Critical Noob is also a man that could talk to us. He's in P3 at the moment. But let's first go to Fernan. P4, your teammate, the home hero here, Outguard, in the Craig, he's in P2. With the championship still being close, within a race win in points, are you going to help your teammate for this race, or are you still in that championship battle phase where you have to gain as many points as possible on him?
Jesus Christ! Hold on a second. Oh, Casta, I am eating a cookie. Thanks
Well,
for the...
You can now eat the cookie live on air, mate. So, while you're having mouthfuls of delicious cookie, we'd like to ask you how that delicious lap was in qualifying, mate. Talk us through it. What was the thoughts heading into that Q3 session, and what can you tell us heading into the race?
The chances of me winning, you could say they're not very high because I'm not popping off this weekend. At least I'm not washed though. I managed to get into the pace just in the right moment.
At least I'm not washed.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that chat. I'm not washed. You seemed very happy that you weren't last. And so are we. We like to see the critics up there as well. Albeit a bit of a slam dunk performance in the constructors. But yeah, great to hear from you, mate. Do you have anything you'd like to tell us ahead of the race? What flavor cookies? What cookie are you having? What cookie are you having? Chocolate chip. That's lovely, mate. That's grand.
That's probably the best cookie. Well, Fernan, I believe we're running out of 5 minutes till the start of the race, I believe. So, thank you for joining us, and we're very excited, very pleased to be able to see you out on track. Now, Mano, before the race starts, any more words?
I'm excited for this one. You might think in something like road racing, it's a bit weird to talk about battles in where you can't even like collide with cars, etc. But what I've come to learn is that you do have battles. It is exciting, all that matters is that the drivers can maintain that pace and go side by side, play around with the strategy, see what works for them. And I believe we're going to see more of that today. Outguard seems to be on the pace with Dakar. It's very, very fine margins, that last qualifying session, the drivers being separated by a very, very small gap. So expect to see a similar battle in the race. However, Dakar did say that the corners all seem the same. It's quite a monotonous layout. And if you lose your mojo, you might slip up and you might make a mistake, and that's where you lose the positions. So a race of attrition as usual here in Romula One, and I'm all here for it.
Well, I'm gonna do a little race introduction before the race. So I'll get prepared. Okay. Let's go now. Well, we've left Europe and the big city, of course, Berlin, to the could I call it Sahara? Almost. At least the desert of Marrakesh. Welcome to Romula One, and welcome to the Grand Prix de Maroc, where we've got a few drivers in the fight for this race. Upcoming in a few minutes' time, Dakar takes pole position over the home hero, Outguard, and Critical Noob in third. Now, we asked for your vote, and you answered. And your top three for getting pole was Dakar, Outguard, and Critical Noob. So, in that case, you were spot on. Dakar was the fastest, but Outguard has shown some pace. He only messed up his lap, so it could be a very interesting Grand Prix de Maroc here. This is a track with 14 corners, multiple different sharp, long, twisty, and S's section type of corners. One corner to potentially look out for, turn 3, well actually 2 corners, turn 3, and a hairpin at the end of the middle sector in the S's section. It's going to be exciting for this race, with currently Fernand leading the championship. He's starting in 4th, with Dakar only 8 points behind. But for Outguard, this race will be important as he is 22 points behind Fernand. It's going to be very interesting. And of course, you're watching it live on YouTube. You're watching it live on YouTube. And this race, Romula One, the Moroccan Grand Prix, is brought to you by King Media. And if you have a quick look up in the commentary booth, hello, once again. I'm your commentator, Key GP, and alongside me, once again, the trustworthy, the man, the myth, the legend, Mano.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I think you can agree that qualifying session had us on the edge of our seats, and you know, a topic we were always talking about was, is Dakar going to be challenged here? You know, he is a Frenchman with a lot of history, primarily for just utter domination, never actually being contested in any of the road racing leagues he's ever competed in, slam dunk championships, etc. However, today, you know, he has got on pole, but that margin up at the front is very, very thin. You can cut it with a knife almost. So I'm very excited to see exactly how this race goes. It can be anyone. You know, if Dakar has a bit of a mistake, hits a sausage curb, goes flying off, you know, Outguard's going to be in the lead. So it's really anyone's game today.
Now, before we start this race, and this time I beg that caster waits till I finish with this, because last time the Berlin Grand Prix started with us not knowing that it started. Here's the grid order for today's race. Dakar in the Turkington, is it called? I forgot already.
Turkington, yeah, I think so.
Turkington takes pole position here with a 1:29.4 over Outguard, only 100th of a second behind. Then on the second row is Critical Noob in the newly founded Meme Racing, with Outguard's teammate Fernand, championship leader, in 4th. Then we have Deferred, the hyperdriver Cloxed, ASM, and Domji. Then it's Dakar's replacement at Spark Racing, August. What's his name? Augustin? Something like that? I don't know.
Augustin?
Augustin, okay. And then in 10th, the Train Pig. Then we've got Asa, Chris, Ratier, Super Joe, F1, FA, I'm just going to call him that, Toots, Wolf Landry, and the rest who I don't recognise. And it doesn't matter, they all got knocked out in Q1. Well, with all that said, we're ready for the Grand Prix de Maroc, and it's going to be a close one. Mano, who do you think is going to win? Especially out of the top 4. It's going to be very close, isn't it?
I'm gonna give my predictions, and I'm gonna put my money on Outguard for this race, because Dakar, while he is a fast guy, as you've seen in the interviews, he can get very overconfident, very complacent. He was talking about what sports, well, like what F1 he's going to be putting on while watching the race. But as we were talking about, this is a track of attrition. If he makes a mistake, Outguard will be there to pounce. I don't think he wants to make mistakes either in his home Grand Prix. The pace looked very strong from the Meme Racing driver, and I have full hope that he will be able to edge out, beat the Frenchman, and win here at Morocco.
Well, a lot of drivers, you guys, the viewers, have voted for who you think is going to win. And it was a mix between Critical Noob, Dakar, and the home hero, Outguard. He's looking to win here in Morocco. I don't believe he's ever actually won here before. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get it. This will also be a very important race for his championship, and to see if he can stay within the margin. There on your screen is third place driver, Critical Noob, getting into his grid slot. And oh, is he a fast driver, say. Making his debut for Meme Racing, he could very well get his first ever win for the team in his first ever race. The Moroccan Grand Prix is about to start. All the drivers lined up, and the drivers that haven't gotten in their cars yet, well, they're about to do so. Welcome to Marrakesh, welcome to the desert, and welcome to a race that could very well change the scope of this championship in Romula One. And it's going to be an exciting one. Mano, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
I'm actually excited. I've got my bottle of water here. I've got a nice bowl of caramel popcorn as well. I'm gonna get settled in. This is gonna be a good one. With under 15 seconds to go until I think we're gonna see lights out. Yeah, I'm excited. And
It's gonna be
finally,
fun.
for this one, it looks like we've done everything. Everything's sorted, and you're good to start the race off normally as we were supposed to last time round.
So, Moroccan Grand Prix, or the Grand Prix de Maroc, or however you say it in Moroccan Arabic, we're ready. The drivers are ready. You guys at home are ready. And the entirety of Romula One is ready. Come on out, guard, says the boards there in the stands, packed stands, ready to hopefully witness their home driver win the race. The lights are on, and when the lights are off, we are... Go! Great start from Algard. Look at the launch he got from there. Dakar manages to somewhat stay with him, but Algard, I think, just inches ahead. And we've got some drivers also peeking through. Is that a Sparks car, maybe? But Algard, I think, got the overall lead, I think. There we see on the split screen. Algard, yes, indeed, leading. Dakar didn't get all too much of a good launch. He is now fighting for, I think, maybe even third. There's another Turkington on the left hand of the right hand of the screen. And lap 1 of 30 is that. Almost done. Algard getting attacked. And Algard maybe even losing the position. Don't know who that is. I can't tell right now because it's very pixelated. But Algard, I believe, has lost the lead to his home Grand Prix. A lead that he oh so deserved at the start because his launch was amazing. Another Craig sliding round. It's chaos. And I think that's Critical Noob just inching, maybe even edging ahead of the top group. It's going to be very close. Another meme racing in the background, or some people gone off onto the sausage curb. And they are going to lose a lot of time from that. And so much fighting, so much chaos. I can't see where Algard is, but I can see where Dakar is, and I think he's made the comeback in that start. He might even be ahead of Algard. Lap 1 done. Lap 2 begins, and Algard is up into second. So where he started, he still is, but he could very well take the lead here, Mano.
Yeah, I think something we saw people catching on to just before the start of the race. The third is on the soft compound. I'm not sure if that was intentional from the Midnight Star car, but that would explain why he's currently leading at the moment. They're going to have to come up with a strategy over at the third's garage, over the pit wall, because I'm not sure that is the ideal strat. It might be that he has to extend that stint, lose a lot of places, and then have to finish not ideally. But you know, it's too early to tell. We've got 30 laps to go, currently on lap 2, and Deferred currently building up the gap at the moment, using that soft compound to good use. However, Outguard currently on the hard tire. And just like I said, Dakar currently down in 7th at the moment. That's definitely not where he wants to be. And, you know, with all the vision lag, it's obviously hard to tell, but the leaderboard will be the best scope for us to go off of and sort of determine where all the cars are on the track. And Dakar definitely down in 7th, behind his teammate, actually. So a very bad start from the Frenchman. Deferred currently increasing the gap up to 8 tenths now. And I think before DRS gets opened here, he might be able to even build that gap and start pulling away, using the soft compound to better use.
Well, so far, Deferred has got the lead of this race. Outguard is still looking... Well, actually, no, Outguard is in that fight with the Train Pig. Is that? Yes, it is. The Train Pig. Unbelievable start from him. He's all the way up there now. That's incredible. And Outguard, he's still looking good compared to Dakar, who got a really bad start off of pole. This is not too bad points-wise, but Fernand could still inch ahead. He's still got that championship lead, and he's still got a good gap for it as well. It's going to be close here. It's going to be really close. Here's the Train Pig, I believe, on board actually with... Is that the Train Pig? Yes, it is, I believe, right? And this is the battle for P1 now. The Train Pig just trying to have a look up the inside of the third, and he might even get alongside him now. Now, this is a place where you need to brake hard. They both get it right. Oh, someone just in the bottom right-hand side of my screen almost, I think, went up in the air there. Here comes a train pig using the slipstream, using the DRS, and he's going to get ahead of the third. And I think he's made a mistake because the Craigs are there as well now. It's a big, big battle for the lead of this race already. And I think Outguard is going to be the main man in this battle. Final corner, the train pig. Oh, just lost that rear end a bit there. And now he's been susceptible to an attack by the Craigs. It's a Craig sandwich for the train pig, and he's in between the both of them. And it's going to be very difficult to get out of that ordeal.
Yeah, I mean, we were literally just saying how we're not sure how long that soft is going to last for, and it looks like the third he's still holding on, but you know, the train pig, he's up there, he's trying to get the move done for the lead. He's not registered on the timing screen that he's actually in the fight for the lead, but because those cars, that lead pack, is so close to each other, they're practically just mirroring each other's lines at the moment, you know? And it looks like Chris Boyce just ran wide there.
Indeed. As you can see from the, well, now not anymore, the dual camera angle, as I like to call it, the train pig might be back in the fight for first. The third managed to make a bit of a comeback there. He's gone wide, however, but this could be an awesome fight. Massive fight indeed. Look at all those cars fighting for one piece of silverware, for the top step of the podium. And the train pig is a man that could be in that battle.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, mate, but it looks like Toots has lost his front wing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness me, he is bouncing over the sausage curbs like a mad cow on steroids.
Oh,
what is going on there?
He stopped. I think, oh no, he hasn't. But that's it. That could be big damage for him. Back to the lead. The train pig. Oh, it's that Dakar. Yes, it is. Dakar and the Turkington. He's had a bit of a comeback there. And as you can see, Clocks. Oh no, that's Toot. Sorry, going into the pit lane now. Now he's got to change a front wing that he broke, as Mano said, and that's going to lose him a lot of time. He's actually down to the bottom on your TV graphics. This is not the way Toots would have wanted to start his race. But one way that Toots would have wanted to start his race is maybe being in this incredible battle for the lead. It's the Craigs. It's the Deferred, who's now kind of lower down. And it's Critical Noob, I believe that is. All in the battle. Oh, no, that's the Train Pig, sorry. All in the battle. And not only that, but the man himself, Dakar, in this fight. It's awesome. What a fight we're seeing, Mano.
Oh, I know, it's amazing. No collisions, no. I think slipstream's obviously an effect that you have to consider, but other than that, they're mimicking each other's lines. They're right within each other, and it's all just down to who makes the first mistake, who makes that slip up, whose tires are going to start falling off first. Until then, they're all just going to be one massive hurdle together, like a sort of beehive almost, in a sense. They're all just going to keep following each other, neck and neck, and I think Dakar's just had it's happened. I think commentators' curse is full in effect, boys, because mentioning the curbs, mentioning who's going to be the first one to make a mistake, it looks like Dakar has bit the curb there a wee bit, has cost him a bit of speed. He's still in that pack, but the line is a little compromised. He's on the hard compound though, so he's just gonna have to play his cards right and just hold out. And then when people start hitting the cliff with their softs and the mediums, that's when I think the Frenchman will be able to start attacking back. But until then, it's just gonna be a race of attrition. Speaking of attrition, obviously we saw earlier on Toots losing his front wing. I'm not entirely sure if he's maybe the right driver for Hyperdrive anymore. We've got Clocks up there, having scored the only team's points, 47 points to his name, and Toots with a null record, effectively, no points on the board. You could give him chances. You could definitely say, be loyal to your drivers, see what can be done. But we're gonna be, I think, 7 rounds in now. For mistakes like this to keep cropping up, it's definitely questions worth being asked at Camp Hyperdrive.
Well, oh, there's a Turkington there. That's Dakar almost getting close to maybe inching ahead. Man, I'm losing my breath. It's wild. But as you can see, it's Dakar leading on your graphics. But the train pig might still have a word. The Crakes have dropped off a bit. It's now the battle between Dakar, the third, and the train pig, although they are still there. So this could be an awesome battle as they go a bit wide. Dakar using the slipstream, using the DRS to his advantage. Everyone's going everywhere on my screen. But in the end, Dakar might still just pinch ahead here. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to be an incredible fight. And look at that! Dakar ahead on my screen, and I think ahead for good. Here we go, on board with Dakar on your top right-hand side of the screen. And, well, man, you can never tell with all these, with the vision lag, you can never tell who's where. The Crakes, I was saying they dropped off a bit, and it is true, but then a second later they were leading on my screen for a frame. So it's gonna be difficult to really tell, but I think it's this battle. It's this battle for real. The train pig and Dakar. And it's getting close. It's getting close. There's a Crake in the mix as well now. And man, side by side on the front straight away. It's looking so close. This is unbelievable. I've got no words. The only thing I can say is this is close. And I've said that about 100 times last lap alone. Unbelievable. 4 wide. Wow. 4 wide, Mano. When do you ever see that in Romula One?
I feel like I see it all the time nowadays, to be honest. These drivers, they're fighting like there's literally nothing on the line, very, very close to those sausage curbs. You know how lethal they can be, but there's absolutely no fear in it. They're just absolutely pushing foot to the floor. And, you know, that top sort of 5 bracket, it's what the data says, but realistically, we know everyone there's basically P1, you know? Like, it's going to be down to like just pure timing to see who's actually in those positions. But on our screen, they're all technically P1. They're all right there in that position, and they're all fighting for the race lead. So it's amazing. You know, this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a fight for the win, and we're getting a fight for the win. Third, on the other hand, however, the soft compound, I'm not. You know what? I'm quite impressed because we're on lap 8, and he's still hanging with this main group. So he has the option now to really choose what tire he wants to go onto. He can sort of see the pace of his competitors, and he can go, right, do I want to pit early? Do I want to go on the hard compound and be a bit safer? Or do I want to have a faster compound that will take a bit of conserving to the finish on a medium? So he's really making that option available to him, and I'm excited to see what he decides to do with the strategy.
Oh, Train Pig has spun round! Big! No! He was in that fight for the lead, but that is no more. Unbelievable. Here on the King Media replay, let's have a look. Oh, no.
Oh.
So he lost the rear end, and that rear end clipped the sausage curb, made him spin around. Unbelievable. So unlucky for him.
Yeah, it looked like he had the rear tire tap the sausage curb, and then an overcorrection just sent him into a spin. Yeah, no, it wasn't ideal. But yeah, I mean, he's been made. I don't know, man. He's made. This is the second mistake. I've just heard someone else has lost a front wing.
A Spark, that is
the Sparks car. Yeah, Sparks car has lost the front wings. Oh, goodness me. Looks like the second coming of Dakar is not having the greatest day.
Well, the second coming of Dakar would not be as quick as Dakar, that's for sure.
100%. And Sparks looks like they're going to have to leave with no points today, unless there's safety cars or something, which I heavily doubt. It's exactly, you know, it's just, it is sad, you know. You know, they had a driver in Dakar. They thought they'd be able to maybe contest for the world championship, get one of their cars out at the front of Romula. But you know, Dakar had second plans, and with the whole driver frenzy that was happening in the mid-season, he decided to pursue a different team, and that's exactly what's happened. Sparks have been left in the gutter as a result, and Dakar largely unchanged, still fighting for the win, as we all know he would be doing.
It's a Spark meltdown, and what I love about Romula One, and this shows, it's almost like cycling racing in where I said this last week, but top 4 in like a group for the battle for the win, and then everyone is kind of just more or less spread out. The midfield from 5th to 11th is kind of in a group together, but also not really. So it's really interesting to see the strategies.
Yep.
So
speaking of strategy, we've just seen Train Pig pit onto the medium, so he had to pit anyway because he lost quite a lot of momentum. I think those tires maybe started to fall off there. He's onto the mediums now. Yeah, he's probably pushing that car at the moment. He knows he needs to make a lot of time. He's currently 25 seconds down on the lead car. I'm not sure what the delta is for going into the pits. Maybe I can be informed of that, but while it might be 10 or 15 seconds, it's definitely a lot more time he's gonna have to close, even without pit stops involved.
So 25 seconds for his was that his pit stop? Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on our screen it says Outguard's leading, but honestly, I think the graphics aren't even going to bother anymore. It's so close to the lead. They're constantly side by side, and unless a mistake is made, it will stay like this. We're a third into this race, and it's still like this. The third has dropped off, and so has Fernand by a bit. So it's really just a battle between Outguard and Dakar. And
yeah, we are
Outguard,
starting to see that, like, you know, that sort of, yeah, the drop off. The group is starting to break up now. Like, you're seeing the gap starting to increase. Even Dakar, 4 tenths behind the Outguard. Home hero, by the way, currently leading his race. So you'll love to see that. Currently a third into the race. Let's hope he can keep the fight going. Does the Frenchman have answers to the pace of Outguards? Time will tell. He's looking to see if he can size up a move on the outside. Very aggressive line, side by side, into the braking zone. And it looks like he's got the move done. But looks like Outguard's going to come back with an answer. He's not going to give this one up, is he? It's his home race. If there's one race he wants to win on the calendar, it has to be this one. And he knows that. Down we go into the long right-hander, into the braking zone, across the start-finish straight. And Dakar leads, but Outguard's got the DRS, and away he goes again, back into the lead. Dakar's going to have to try harder. He's going to have to try harder. They're both on the same compound. It's just pure skill. Pure skill at the moment. And Outguard clearly has the drive to win this race. He knows how much this means to him. Even if it's just a Roblox race, even if it's just a Romula race, even if Outguard might be a little bit further down in the championship standings at the moment, he knows that this win can swing him back into the fight. And what a win would it be at home as well?
It's big. It's massive. And he's got the hopes and shoulders of not only Morocco, but Africa, really, on his shoulders. Oh, it's going to be such a close battle for this win. It's so close between the two, and they're just running off with it now. They've gained 5 tenths on Fernand last lap, and while we're talking about fights for the championship, it's heating up. And man, if Dakar can win this race, he could potentially take the lead of the championship, depending on where Fernand finishes. This is going to be an incredible fight, and you can watch it all live here on YouTube. If you like the highlights, well, stick around for the lives. Join the Discord to check whenever races are on. And if you can't watch it live, if it's too early or too late, don't worry. You can always rewatch them. Full races, qualifying in full as well, on demand, whenever you want. It's exciting. And whenever you want. And wherever you want, yeah, as our lovely producer just said to us. And if you don't have the attention span for this long of a race, you've always got the race highlights that come out a day or two after the race. So why wouldn't you subscribe to Romula One?
Yeah. So speaking of the amazing insights we get to give you, I'll give you one just now. Deferred has pit onto the soft tire. So I'm assuming, seeing that he started on the soft tire, he's probably going to have to finish his race on the soft tire.
Or he's doing a two-stop.
Well,
that could also be a thing.
No, sorry. I've done a bit of a miscommunication. So he was on the softs. He's put onto the hards now. So going to the end. Yeah, I was a bit confused with that strategy when I saw it, but no, I was wrong. He has gone onto the hard compound tire. A little bit of skeptical looks from people in the paddock. People asking if that's a possible strategy, but. That soft compound was stretched 12 laps. I'm confident the hard can do like around 18. It should be possible. Do not count out deferred. That Midnight Star clearly has pace, and I'm excited to see where they finish in the closing stages of the Grand Prix.
Outguard has lost a bit of time to Dakar, by the way. He's lost quite a bit of time, actually. Currently, right now, it's about 5/10, I believe. 3/10. Now, I have to look for 10 on the live, which is, for us, in the commentary booth, a bit delayed by like a good 10 seconds. So, because it's so pixelated, I have to look on the YouTube live. But let's look at the actual racing, because Outguard is right back there. He's probably gone for it with a lap time, because now he's caught up a lot, and he's back in the battle. Dakar, who thought he was going to spin out, well, he is now probably surprised at the fact that Outguard is still there. Unbelievable. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's taken the lead of the Moroccan Grand Prix. Outguard in the crate, back on top once again. And, well, he's got the entire hopes of this nation, the entire hopes of this continent on his shoulders. And it's big. It's massive. Not only could it be massive for championship implications, but it could be big for his confidence. But Dakar is still there. He's conquered so many continents, so many countries, time and time again, and he just wants to add this one to his list, a place where he's won before and would like to win again.
Yeah, so sorry to butt in there, but we've got a lot of drivers entering the pits now. We've got Miggy, who's entered, he's pitted onto the mediums. We've got Fernan, he's pitted onto the hards, and then we've also got Funky Fox pitting onto the mediums as well. So a lot of different changing strategies at the moment. People really trying everything, just sticking things onto the board at the moment and just trying to see what sticks. We've got cars at the back who are really not fighting for anything. So they're basically asking, what, we'll chuck on a set of mediums or we'll chuck on a set of softs and we'll just see if we're able to maybe make some ground, see if it sticks. It's really the lead cars at the moment that have to worry about the strategy. They've all just sort of opted what their rivals are doing. We've got everyone down to top 8 on the hard compound tire, and then we've also got a few outliers on the mediums. I say that now, it's literally only just train pig on the medium now. So every car down to P16 currently on the hard compound tire. So really is that herd mentality here in Romula. Teams, certain drivers don't have engineers. They don't have people on the pit lane to tell them what compounds to go on, and they have to really just make the call for themselves. They get that leaderboard on the screen and they can say, okay, my rival up ahead, he's on the hards. I'm just going to pit for the hards as well. I don't want to make a strategy that's going to cost me later on in the race. And that's probably what's going on there. But I'm interested to see if Train Pig's medium compound strategy can bring him further up the field. He is really just going to be the sort of measure to see if that tire was the better choice. As we're currently on board watching Outguard, he was behind Dakar. He's now back ahead into the lead. So I think he just hit the cruise control for a wee bit. As we've got late glue from the Sparks team. He's lost his front wing again.
Oh, yeah, that. If he has, well, that's pretty much race over. If it wasn't already, as you said.
Oh wait, no, it's his teammate. So we saw Augustine. We saw August lose.
Oh no, but there's
front wing.
There's only one Sparks on the grid today.
Oh wait, no, I'm a bit confused. What's going on here?
Okay,
it's
okay.
Oh, the Ford lost its wing. The Ford lost its wing.
Oh,
sorry, a
yeah.
little bit of confusion there, but yeah. It's not cut off for everyone, you know. Certain teams, new teams, they're gonna make mistakes, new drivers, and you know, it's all gonna be a learning experience for a lot of these teams. You know, we've got a lot of new drivers, new brands coming in pretty much every single race now, to be honest. Like, every time I think I've nailed the grid for this season or the race, next week you come along and there's like, oh, boom, 6 new drivers, boom, 3 new teams, 5 livery changes. You know, it's just how it works here, to be honest. So you can't expect everyone to be delivering how Outguard is at the moment. Speaking of which, what is that gap? There is no gap. I think the overtake's just been done. Yeah,
back on board. Yeah, 0.000 seconds. Have you ever seen that? Well, we might have once upon a time in Romula One history, but not in a long while.
It's still a sight to see.
Big. As the Ford goes over the sausage curbs ages ago, actually. I was looking at the YouTube stream. What am I doing with myself? But Outguard inching ahead of Dakar. And yes, as the pit window has basically ended for everyone except the top 3, it's going to be very interesting to see what strategies these guys play out. Both Dakar and Outguard are on hards, so if they pit on the same lap, well, the pit stop drama is gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, neck and neck between the 2 lead cars is critical from the meme racing team has just gone on to the medium compound tire. So stretched out that stint all the way until lap 17. He's now going to see if he can round off his race today in Morocco on the medium compound tire. So following the meme racing cars following...
Oh.
I'm sorry to bring you guys off the main coverage, but Dakar has just spun, and I said this. I called this. I said this would happen. He has made a mistake, and I don't mean to prey on the Frenchman's downfall, but this is exactly what I said would happen.
This is big. This is massive. And for Morocco and for the entirety of the continent, it's big, and it's celebrations prematurely for Outguard and Craig. For Dakar, it's not good. It's the worst thing that could happen, especially when you're about to make a pit stop. But we've seen Dakar in these moments, not only under pressure, but after making a mistake where he can gain so much time. Into the pit lane goes Dakar. Is it premature? Probably, but really, the mistake he made has caused that really onto the medium tires.
Outguard also into the pits. I think he's just seen that Dakar spun. He's like, I need to get this pit stop out of the way immediately. Like, get back onto the fresh rubber.
And it's a slow pit stop, I think. Is that the gap is not the biggest gap I've seen, especially after a spin.
Yeah, it's not mental. I think Outguard had a bit of a slow stop there because Dakar's not even that far behind. I don't know if he just set like an insane in lap, but I don't feel like he's been used to advantage over at Craig. They're gonna have to stay. Those premature celebrations are gonna have to stay premature because the race is still on. It's 100% still on. Could swing either way.
Yeah, the balloons. Well, they're not being held up as high as possible at the moment, but they might be. They're not popped yet for Outguard.
Yeah. I'll tell you what team is currently going to be enjoying the coverage for a wee bit, though. That's going to be Clocks, currently leading the race at the moment. Now, I'm not entirely sure how his strategy's going. I'm not sure if he's leading on merit, but he's in the lead at the moment. Not. So let's talk about him for a wee bit, shall we?
Those are the hards he started on. So no, he still has to pit. But for Dakar... it's great for Clocks and Hyperdrive, but for Dakar, this could be something because, sure, he's spun, but he's been the best driver ever in moments like these when he's made mistakes and has to claw back time. Could that be something today? He's spoken his, let me just say, his disappointment in the track layout. He's not a fan of it. So... that could warrant some mistakes. For Outguard, it's his home track. He should nail this, and he's going at it. He's on the hards, by the way. He's not on the mediums. So that's it. Very interesting. I've only just realised that now. Dakar is on mediums. Outguard is on hards. He's going safe. He doesn't trust those mediums, and Dakar clearly does. He wants pace. Outguard just wants a safe
I'm not sure.
Drive to the win.
I'm not sure if that's the call. As Klotz
Has
comes in for his pit stop, he just came out into 7th. And yeah,
this is going to be something. This might be really close between Outguard and Dakar. What was the right call? We don't know. Has Dakar made the best call ever going to mediums? Or has Outguard played the smart move that could win him the race going onto the hards? It's going to be such a difficult guess. And that's what I love about motorsports. The strategy. It's nerve-wracking, isn't
no, 100%, 100%. And speaking of strategy, someone I did say to keep an eye on when he initially pitted a lot earlier than the others, deferred currently up in P4 at the moment, so while everyone is pitting, he's just slowly been clawing his way back up through the field, the Midnight Star, currently fighting with its purple predecessor and trying to see if it can get itself up into the podium positions. He's going to have to obviously be a bit realistic with his expectations. He's on very, very old hards compared to the cars around him, and I'm gonna bet that Dakar is also gonna get ahead at some point as well. Someone who's a bit surprising me quite a bit, Ratier K for PMP, currently in P6 at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Again, I've not been watching his strategy at the moment, but he's currently running in a really good position, currently ahead of the meme racing car Critical. So, once again, Ratier K showing that, the coverage might not look at him, we might not look at him, but in the dying stages of the race, he just suddenly spawns into the fray and has a statement to make. And he's currently, it looks like is he fighting is he fighting with Dakar or is he fighting with Acer? I think he's fighting with Acer, yeah. He's fighting with Dakar.
Oh, wow. Or is that Fernan? Or is that Ratier?
Yeah, he's fighting
Okay.
Acer. My bad, lads. My bad. Called that wrong there. But yeah, he's fighting Acer. But yeah, it just proves like this is every single race. He just comes out of nowhere and he's fighting side by side now with Acer. And Acer looks like he's maybe been caught a bit by surprise here because he's not really. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Critical, where did that come from? That was insane.
Oh my goodness.
He just pops out of nowhere, joined into the battle. We've got a 3 wide down into the corner here. Very, very fast corner. You got to be right on the edge of those sausage curbs. Got to be very careful that you don't stick your wheel on those sausage curbs or you're going to go flying off into the next round's country. And speaking of, I think that's Train Pig pitting again.
Oh,
No.
is that? So many battles. Everywhere a battle. Everywhere strategy being played. If there wasn't a reason before why you should watch Romula One, there is now. What a motor race we've got on our hands. And we've got 9 laps to go, guys. This is awesome. The Train Pig pits, but he was leading. So him pitting was probably the right call. Is Dakar leading, by the way?
Yeah, Dakar's leading now. I'm not entirely... See, the strategy,
I'm confused
knew...
here. Did Outguard make a mistake? Because it says Dakar's leading, but...
I think he just closed that gap. When he came out of the pits and we saw that he was quite
We're
close.
looking at the battle now. We're looking at the battle now for the lead. It's Dakar versus Outguard.
Versus Fernan. Now this is a very, very weird dynamic. Very weird dynamic because Fernan.
No, this is
wants to
Outguard.
get
This
ahead.
is Outguard.
Yeah. So, but Fernan is just behind because he is leading the championship at the moment, and he wants to make sure. Yes, it is his teammate's home race, but he needs the win because the people fighting him in the championship are currently ahead of him. So it's a bit of a sticky situation. Like Craig needs to make sure that they don't get their boys fighting. Obviously, it's a non-collide sport, but constantly phasing in and out of each other, you're going to miss your reference points. You're not going to be able to see them, and it's going to throw each other off. So it's a very, very interesting dynamic that we've got at the moment, side by side at the moment with and
big power there.
Down into the braking zone for the first corner. Dakar with the inside line, and he's gotten the move done, I think.
Yes, he has. Dakar's got the move done. Speaking of Fernan, we asked him before the race, will he fight Outguard or will he help Outguard? He said, I don't know. And it currently looks like, well, I think he backed off a bit, but he's still in the corner of our screen. For Dakar, though, this is big. This is important to potentially take the lead of the championship. For Outguard, he needs to win this. He really, really desperately wants to win this. And it's going to be difficult, but it might just be possible. A mistake like lap 17, maybe? Who knows? It's going to be close. It's going to be exciting. And with 8 laps left in store for us here in Marrakesh, man, the crowd are going wild. It's awesome. And
That's exciting.
I'm sure you guys at home are loving this just as much as we are. Outguard, currently on our screen, not ahead. It's currently Dakar. But you know how close they are? Very, very. A bit deep goes Dakar. That's his lines that he's taking. Outguard is taking the more normal, centralized lines. And Dakar is really going for it, taking wide lines, going deep into corners. So, honestly, now it's Outguard going slightly deep into the final corner.
And I think Dakar, has he made a bit of a mistake? He looks like he's fallen
I think he did.
a wee bit. He's still in the lead by the look of things on my screen, but he looks like he's maybe slipping up just a wee bit. Like, he did not have this much pressure last time out in Romula. He did not have this much competition. He has had both the crakes breathing down his neck for a very long time, a very long portion of the race. And I think Deferred, goodness me, no way. Has Deferred lost his front wing?
Oh, no.
Deferred's lost his front wing.
He has.
Strategy is completely thrown out the window for the Midnight Star driver running in 4th. He was running in that pack to win the race. He's bouncing over the sausage curbs now. There is so much understeer, absolute armful of understeer that he's getting through each corner. And what could have been for Deferred a beautiful strategy that he had pinpoint planned out at the start of the race, pitted early onto the hards, and was making his way back up. Sure, he had the tire disadvantage, but now he's lost the front wing as well, and now everyone's passing him.
That's so unlucky. It really is so unlucky. So sad. He was doing so unbelievably well. That's incredible. My goodness. Back to the lead, though, as this doesn't phase the battle for the lead. Yeah, with Dakar, when was the last time you heard him getting pressured in a race? It's been a long while, and I mean properly pressured. For the last 24 laps, he's had Outguard breathing down his neck, Fernand breathing down his neck, and not just for a moment, for the entire race. And it is unbelievable how close these guys are. He's maintained a bit of a gap. It's currently at half a second, but man, could this become something incredible? Has Outguard got just a little bit left in the tank to make the bridge over to Dakar's rear wing and potentially make a pass for the lead? It's going to be oh so close. I cannot wait.
And if we can get the, if we can...
Oh, Dakar's made a bit of a mistake. I think he slowed down a bit, went over the sausage curb, because now Dakar... Well, he's got Outguard once again right behind him. He's going to use a slipstream from that long, windy corner down into the hairpin. Is that? Yes, it is. Oh, a bit of oversteer from Outguard, but he's still got a bit of a gap to Dakar, a close enough gap to get past or to get close enough to with the DRS. On the left-hand side of your screen, you're seeing a battle for, I believe that's 3rd. On the right-hand side, it's for the win. Dakar goes a bit wide, uses the deeper line, opposite for Outguard, and I think Outguard took the faster one, because heading down to the start-finish straight for the 25th time today, Outguard is right alongside him almost. Dakar did have the DRS though. He got the drag off there, and unless there's a mistake, this could be a drag race for the win of the race. Unbelievable. And we've got 5 more laps left, Mano.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you've got a wee fan in the chat there. Really appreciating your commentary, so keep up the good work. But yeah, no, it is very, very cutthroat. I think it's kind of just a bit of like ping pong at the moment. They're just going to have to keep using the DRS, keep flipping back and forth. And you'll notice that Dakar might be leading in one lap, and then Outguard is leading in the next lap on the start-finish straight. It really it's a bit of a DRS ping-pong at the moment, and it's really just down to chance, I think, because those tires are both in a very similar window. And I think, I think every time I speak, someone breaks their front wing. Now it's Chris from G-Force who's lost their front wing. Obviously, he's a bit further down the field, not really involved in the battles we've been talking about, but still, it's I'm a bit I think everyone's starting to feel
Whoa.
the pressure of that.
Outguard's gone wide.
Outguard's gone wide.
A bit wide, and yet into the pits goes the G-Force car, is that? I think so. Outguard's still on the rear of Dakar. It's oh so close. Unbelievable race here in Morocco. Final corner. Outguard will have the DRS, and it will be close. Dakar has conquered every single continent over and over. But finally, could he have someone to potentially stop the dominance? He's always, the last few rounds, he's conquered, and then he's left with a mark in the history of Romula One. But now that could be put to bed with Outguard breathing down his neck for this Grand Prix win. A Grand Prix win that he's been fighting for since the start.
Oh.
Now there's a bit of problems here for Chris Boy. He's lost his front wing. He's gone off. And
again.
Oh
my lord.
And he's lost.
So it's not fixed.
Oh my god! Wow.
I'm not.
No,
man.
How do you do that? Sorry, massive blunder for Chris Boy that we've just heard from our producer. He came in to fix his front wing because he broke it
left with a pair of tires instead.
And then
that's not what you want on the car, mate. You want the wing back on. What are you boys doing?
That is a blunder and a half, and that's how you not do strategy in Romula One. Take notes, everybody else, because this is not what you should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're having issues left, right, and centre. I mean,
Outguard's got the lead.
Outguard's back in the lead.
Outguard's got it. Yeah, but now Dakar's gonna have the DRS.
Yeah, it's exactly what we were saying. You know,
Turkington has had so much straight line speed today, but can he inch side by side this time? He just can heading into the corner.
Swing
but
round.
Outguard may have the lead still.
Wow. It's been going on for ages. Bloody hell. I actually don't know who's going to win this. All right, chat. If you are watching, I see 18 people in the chat, right? I want you to put your predictions down in the Romula One live chat. Let us know who you think is going to win today here in Morocco, because if I'm being honest, it's actually hard to tell. It's actually hard to tell because that DRS constantly allowing each driver to swing rounds, give it another go in the start finish down into turn one. It's really going to be down to chance, I think, or mistake, because the pace from both of these drivers has been absolutely unreal.
It's been incredible. It's been an incredible watch. Outguard has so far got a bit of a lead. Now, are you Outguard or are you Dakar, guys? It's going to be close. A lot of people are going to vote for who they hope, but so far, most people going Dakar. It's close, but it's incredible.
Yeah, we've got a poll up as well.
Yep.
So vote in the chat if you want to. Someone's even said I'm going to win the race. Apparently, I appreciate that. Thank you, but I don't think that's happening. Love the confidence though. But yeah, we're reaching the final stages of the race. Outguard still leading down into the start-finish straight. Dakar's once again going to open up that letterbox in the back of his car, trying to see if he can maybe make a move. The crate car, however,
he's not close enough.
He's just not close enough.
Every single time on that straight, someone with the DRS has gone side by side. Not this time. 2 more laps to go after this, and Outguard has managed to build up a steady enough lead to withstand Dakar's Turkington with the DRS wide open. That's big. That's massive. And that might just decide the race. It doesn't look like it, but that is big and way bigger than you'd think. And in racing terms, yeah, as I said, could decide it. Now let's go over to the battle with clocks, is that? Yeah, this is the battle for, I believe, 6th, huh? Let me have a look, yes. It's with 2 laps to go. We want to see the battle for the race, but it's looking good for the hyperdrive. Oh, was that a Turkington on the side of the road? Oh, no, that was just vision lag.
Something I would like to bring to awareness as well. We might be in the running for a potential last lap fight for P3. So the final position on the podium. Fernand looks to be setting very slow laps compared to the cars behind him. Acer and Crit setting some absolute stonkers of sectors at the moment. Slowly managing to close into Fernand. It could be close. So keep an eye on those on that little gaggle of cars as well. It's going to be neck and neck for the leaders. And I think it's going to be neck and neck for P3 as well. We're in for a good
More people think Outguard is going to win this race. He's got the bit of the gap, but Dakar has closed it a bit and enough to somewhat come side by side with Outguard into turn 1. It's the penultimate lap of this race, and Mano, if you take over for this lap and I do the last lap, that would be lovely.
Sounds good. Cool. So, Outguard and Dakar have been absolutely going at each other's throats with the butter knives that they have been given in the form of these Romula One racing cars. And my goodness me, they have been absolutely going ham at it for the last 29 laps. Every single time we've seen and gone onto their cameras just to try see who's looking like they've got the advantage, we're just unable to tell because they've been side by side into every corner, into every sector, setting near identical. Oh, no! And is that Dakar?
Oh,
I think Dakar's gone off. I think Dakar's gone off.
Oh my goodness, indeed!
He's gone off! He's gone off! Oh my days! That's insane! And Dakar, as I was saying, I think that's it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness me! Wow! When have you ever seen that, ladies and gentlemen? For the first time in I don't know how long, Dakar's made a mistake that will cost him the win. My goodness! Oh wow! That is big.
Hell. I apologize for the outburst, but that was very shocking to see, man, especially in the penultimate dying stages of the race. And you can tell with the split screen camera that Dakar is out of DRS range. We're going to go on to the final lap now, and I'm going to let Kian take over.
Craig is celebrating already. The entire nation is celebrating. And I guess you could say the entire continent as well. Outguard has managed to withstand the pressure from arguably the greatest driver on planet Earth and will lead to a home victory. A victory that could bring him slightly back into this championship fight. Dakar's out of the DRS range. This is something no one's expected. The stands are going wild. Come on, Outguard. You beauty. Final few corners here of the race. He's been incredible. He's been the man. And he's deserved every single bit of this victory. Unbelievable. He's going to win here in Morocco. The nation is going to go crazy. But not only Morocco, the entire continent, the entirety of Africa will go wild here. Final few corners. Morocco's going wild. And they have every right to be. Outguard is going to pull back through in this championship fight. And with a few more corners to go, Morocco is celebrating like wild men here today. But so is the entirety of Africa. Because Outguard is going to come across the line to take another victory in his storied career. But this victory is something else. This victory is precious. And this victory
we're gonna just go to the final for the P3 positions. Crit is right on the tail of Fernand here. Is he gonna get P3? I think he's just gonna miss out. And I think that is it. Yeah, I'm sorry to butt in there, but my goodness me, they were on each other's rear ends, man. I thought that was gonna be crits, but my goodness, yeah, man, Outguard. Outguard, take a bow.
Man.
Take a bow.
This is a victory he's going to cherish for a long while. It's a special one. Mission accomplished, you superstar. He wins the Grand Prix of Morocco. And Craig go wild. Dakar has been beaten. The run is over. The dynasty is over.
Dakar in team radio saying, lucky win, to be honest. I can't lie, mate. You made the mistake there. That's on you.
He made the mistake.
That's on you. It was a matter of attrition. It was a matter of who was going to make that mistake because that pace was identical and it was Dakar who bit the bullet. So Outguard wins that fair and square in my books. Solid one.
In my opinion, that was honestly what a drive. And I've been watching Outguard. I've been watching Dakar for years now. That is, in my opinion, Outguard's greatest ever drive in Roblox racing and the most deserved win I've ever seen in Roblox racing. Outguard withstood the greatest of all time. A driver that when he said he would join in for the race, everybody would go scared. they wouldn't even bother trying to race anymore.
Yeah. We've got
And
Algard in the
Outgard's
booth
beaten
now.
him.
Let's, well, Algard, I'm not going to say anything. Just tell us yourself, mate. How are you feeling? Tell us those final few laps. How was it running in your head? We had Dakar on your bum for about 20 laps. I want to hear what your thoughts were, mate. How was that? Oh, lovely. Amazing. Great. Fantastic. I forgot this guy speaks in binary code. Yeah, I'll take that as a...
Yeah.
I'll take that as great news. Winning at home, you heard some positive chimes coming out of Outguard's robotic voice, and yeah, it's definitely great to see. But yeah, Kian, do you have any questions for our race winner here at home?
Well, honestly, Outguard, that was one of your greatest drives ever, in my opinion. You've basically stopped Dakar from doing whatever his plans were with Romula One, and you've won your home Grand Prix. Not only is that an important race to win in itself, but it's made the championship look a lot closer to the lead for you. How do you feel on that?
Let's see what sound he plays this time. Yep, lovely. Cheers, mate.
I could understand every single word of that. Well, merci, Outguard, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the second driver, a person who threw it away, a driver who really shouldn't have, but somehow, some way he lost it.
A rare
Dakar,
mistake.
welcome.
Oh,
You've still finished second. A great performance from you. But considering many see you as the greatest of all time, a mistake which has almost never been seen by you, has been made on air, live, and it's cost you a win. What's this done to your confidence? How do you feel losing this?
oh well, what happened? I pretty much barely clipped the anti-cut, and the rear tire clipped it and not the front. Had it had been two tires clipping it, it would have been fine, just minor speed loss. But since my luck, yeah, it had to be the rear tire, obviously, and boom, there we go. There goes the win. I'm getting paid less. What a scam.
Yeah, we
Well,
have seen, drivers have issues with the sausage curbs, I mean, like, we had a bunch of people losing their front wings in the closing stages of the Grand Prix.
What I mean,
And we did also see you get very close to the walls as well. But it was still surprising nonetheless. Do you feel that the issue you came across was an issue with the track, with the car
the
collision
track is
physics? Or, well, okay. Not even going to finish my question. There's been answered already. But...
yeah, pretty much the track was incredibly bad. I just couldn't get a feel for it. Just like looked like the drivability wise, it felt like a 2012 track in Roblox. So nah, not my cup of tea. But you have to give credit to where it's due. Like Outguard, look at the guy, just gapping everyone by 10 seconds in Roblox. So even after being undercutted by many people behind us, we still managed to gap by like more than 10 seconds and have a battle for the lead. So give credit where it's due.
Yeah,
Appreciate
appreciate that, mate.
stole the show tonight.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate you
GGs.
giving a actual good answer.
Not binary code.
No, yeah, of course, some actual English we can
Actual
understand, mate. Appreciate that, thank you, and enjoy the podium.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a podium he's going to enjoy after that loss. A very tough defeat for him. And for the championship, it's not going to look as great. We've got Fernand coming in a sec. But for Outguard, merci for doing the somewhat interview. And congratulations for the win. And so too to Dakar, the Frenchman, who can probably actually understand me, considering he speaks actual words. And now we've got, I forgot where he finished, but Fernand. Welcome up. Well, yeah, Fernand, not in the top three, but considering...
I thought he was top three.
Was Fernand top three? P3,
Yeah,
okay.
P3.
Fernand, welcome. And P3, it was a dogfight to the line. It was a last lap battle, a battle that became a drag race that you won. But that whole race was pretty difficult for you after the first 10 laps. You slowly but surely lost time over the leaders, and watching your teammate Outguard win, well, it must be great and bad to see. He's gaining points on you in the championship, but then again, more points for the team, and overall, the team's looking really well. How do you feel after that whole race?
All I got to say is that my tires were not making the stints. Like the stints we had planned for each compound, the tires for some reason did not make it anywhere near. I also didn't have an engineer during this FP session where we got the data. I had to get it all through video, and it was so basic that I don't think it was accurate enough to get a proper strategy, you know.
So, we're going. Sorry, King Snake. Lovely. For the viewers
we'll
at home,
ask one question just
Okay.
before we move on.
well, I'll give that to you, Mano.
Yeah, appreciate that. Fernan, do you believe that it should be a mandatory, or not mandatory, but it should at least be enforced that drivers are provided with an engineer? Because we were talking about this on the stream where it was like a lot of data is having to be run and we've got drivers having to decide strategies pretty much on the go. Would you just be able to like tell me a bit more about that? Like, what do you think there could be some sort of resolution to that? Because at times we see that data and the lack of an engineer is what costs drivers the overall pace and the strategy.
The only problem with that, it's not a bad idea, but it's not the best. Because if a driver doesn't have an engineer, and they're not allowed to race, they kind of lose on the championship, and it's unfair. So I don't see why it should be mandatory to have an engineer to be able to race. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ideas, but obviously, hopefully something can be worked out so that it's a bit fairer for everyone. But on the bright side, you did finish P3. It's good damage limitation for you, I'd say. It could have been worse. With Crit and Acer catching up behind you, you definitely pulled off a massive stint to get P3 in the end. So really good job, and enjoy the podium.
Thank you.
Well, the podium now here for Romula One. What an unbelievable race it was, Mano. And we're going to see the podium now. The top three, 2 Crakes and a Turkington, their first podium all season. The man in third who got it over the line in a drag race, Fernan in the Crake Motorsport, to still keep his lead in the championship. He's going to take what for him, considering the circumstances, is a wonderful third. And for the Frenchman, the greatest of all time, but a man who somehow managed to make quite a few mistakes today and won on the last lap, or the second to last lap, being costly. The Frenchman, Dakar, will take second place here in Morocco, a race that he's won many times before in other leagues, in other areas. But for the winner himself, as Dakar standing on the top step of the podium, Outguard, the Moroccan, the man at home, the man in the Crake, who's going to celebrate like crazy because he's just won his home Grand Prix. Outguard wins, and it's an entire nation, an entire continent of celebrating. And he's just going to get closer to that championship, Mano, because Outguard has won the Grand Prix de Maroc. And what a race it was as well. Celebrations deserved for all 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clear that the title fight is very much still on. We had worries that Dakar might just come in and sweep the carpet under the table, but you know what? The drivers are putting up a good fight, you know? They're not just giving up and going, oh, it's Dakar, you know, we're going to give up. But yeah, no, it's good to see. Title fight is very much still on, boys. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, indeed. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I've been Keen GP. Sorry, producer King Snake. Okay, national anthem. Okay, we're not going just yet. And here is the national anthem of the Republic of Morocco for the winner of the Grand Prix of Morocco.
And what a race that was. Well,
It was.
definitely one. I'm not gonna lie. I thought last week's was quite interesting, even despite the massive win gap. But this one takes the cream on the cake.
This one was
Cream on
incredible.
the cake. The cream on the cake. We'll say that. You know what?
Yeah,
The
you know
fun
what?
bits-
Actually, that suits. Thank you, Mano, for giving us an incredible
Oh no, I appreciate that.
thing. So, Dakar takes second, although he is on the top step here. Celebrations for all of them, but even bigger for Outguard. He's just won his home race, and that was, for the viewers at home, one of the best races I've ever seen, aka just a normal day in the office here in Romula One. That was the Grand Prix de Maroc, and I'm glad you stayed here to watch. I've been Keen GP, and alongside me today was Mano, who's been just as incredible as Outguard today.
Oh,
It's
you
been an
flatter me.
incredible race. This Romula One event was brought to you by King Media, and it's been incredible. Merci to Morocco, and merci to everyone that managed to make it an incredible race. And we'll see you next week for yet another race of action and just an incredible title fight to combat it. It's going to be an incredible week next weekend in South Korea, I believe it is, yes. But we'll see more action live on YouTube. We'll hope to see you again soon.